She pulls you in, wraps her arms around you, and for a brief moment, the world slows. Not because of attraction, not because of comfort, but because something fundamental just shifted inside her nervous system. If you've ever felt a hug linger longer than it logically should, this is where the real story begins. Most men believe a hug is a polite exchange, a greeting, a goodbye, a simple social gesture. That belief keeps you blind, because some hugs don't stay in the body. They embed themselves in the brain. When a woman hugs you in a certain way, her psychology doesn't interpret it as touch. It records it as safety. And safety is the true foundation of bonding, attachment, and emotional loyalty. Not chemistry, not excitement, safety. From a psychological standpoint, the female brain does not bond through intensity first. It bonds through regulation. When she hugs you and her shoulders soften, her breathing slows, and her weight subtly settles into you, her nervous system is synchronizing with yours. That isn't romance yet. It's something more powerful. It's imprinting. Here's what most men were never taught. A hug that alters bonding is never tight, rushed, or performative. It's slow, grounded, quiet. Your chest becomes a stable surface, not a force that grabs. Her body immediately senses whether you are emotionally centered or secretly needing something from her. And women detect this without thinking. If your hug carries anxiety, hunger, or expectation, her body stiffens even if her smile stays. But when your hug communicates presence without demand, her brain releases oxytocin while lowering cortisol, that chemical pairing docin, to create lust. It creates trust, and trust is what opens her emotionally later, when you're not even around. This is why some men are remembered for years without chasing, while others are forgotten despite effort. The memorable man gave her nervous system somewhere to rest. In that kind of hug, her subconscious asks a silent question. Can I lower my guard here? If the answer is yes, bonding begins without logic's permission. She may not text more. She may not act differently at all. But something beneath the surface has shifted. Her body now associates you with emotional relief, and humans instinctively return to what regulates them. This is also why trying harder destroys the effect. The moment you attempt to manufacture it, it disappears. The hug only works when you are internally calm, emotionally self-contained, and unattached to outcome. You're not taking anything. You're offering stability. Most men never develop this because they confuse control with strength. Real strength is emotional stillness. When she feels that stillness through your body, especially in silence, or psyche categorizes you differently. Not as excitement, not as entertainment, but as grounding. And grounding is rare. Understand this clearly. A hug like this doesn't make her want you immediately. It makes her miss you later. Here's what happens after. When you're gone, when she's alone, this is where men get confused, because the effect is delayed. The female brain doesn't process bonding in the moment the way men expect. It replays it later, in safety, when no one is watching. That's when the hug grows louder. Her mind revisits how her body felt around you. Not your words, not your actions, just the regulation. And the brain doesn't forget regulation easily. Most attraction advice focuses on stimulation. Be funny. Be exciting. Be unpredictable. That works short-term because it spikes dopamine. But dopamine burns fast. Oxytocin works differently. It rewires association. Her subconscious begins linking you to emotional relief. Stressful day. Your presence becomes a solution her body remembers. Low mood. Her nervous system recalls how it slowed down with you. This is how attachment forms quietly, without drama. This is also why she might reach out after distance. Not because she made a logical decision, but because her body missed the regulation you provided. Men often sabotage this phase by seeking reassurance. They text too much. They ask where they stand. They try to verbally recreate the moment. That breaks the bond because now you're no longer the calm center. You're introducing pressure. And pressure activates defenses. A woman bonds when she feels emotionally safe, without being emotionally responsible for you. That hug told her briefly that she didn't have to manage your emotions, that you were solid on your own. This is rare. Many men appear confident, but their bodies expose them. Tight shoulders, shallow breathing, over-gripping, all signs of internal need. Her subconscious reads those signals faster than any sentence you speak, but when your body communicates steadiness, she relaxes into it before she even understands why. Here's another uncomfortable truth. This kind of bonding does not tolerate labels or speed. The moment you define it, she becomes aware of it. And awareness invites fear. It grows best in silence. When you don't reference it, when you don't seek validation from it, your role is not to escalate emotionally. Your role is to remain the same grounded presence every time you meet. Consistency deepens the imprint. This is why some women say, "I don't know why, but I feel calm around you." That sentence means everything. Calm doesn't sound impressive. It doesn't impress other men, but calm is what allows her to open emotionally, sexually, and psychologically over time. Calm tells her nervous system attachment is safe. And once attachment forms at that level, logic struggles to undo it. Understand this clearly. You didn't bond her by holding her. You bonded her by how you held yourself while holding her. Now here's the part most men resist hearing. That hug, the one that changes bonding, isn't about her. It's about you. Your emotional state, your presence. If you approach her needing validation, craving affection, or hoping she'll behave a certain way afterward, the hug loses its power. Women sense this instantly. Your inner chaos translates into microtension. In your chest, your arms, your breath. Her nervous system picks it up before her conscious mind does. She doesn't hear your words. She feels them. This is why men obsessed with decoding signals or making her fail repeatedly. You cannot force bonding. You can only cultivate presence, and presence is invisible to most men. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It's the calm rhythm beneath emotional noise. The quiet knowing that you don't need anything from her to feel whole. When you bring that energy into a hug, she doesn't just feel held, she feels understood without explanation. Here's a truth that shocks most men. Her body remembers the hug longer than it remembers the conversation. Words fade. Regulation doesn't. That's why she may think about you at random moments. Why she feels drawn without a clear reason. You placed an anchor in her nervous system. Anchors are invisible, but on sit, they shape behavior profoundly. Now, imagine doing this consistently. Without chasing. Without control. Without pressure. She won't just remember your hugs. She remember who she was when she was with you. Other men may excite her, entertain her, stimulate her. But the stability you offer becomes the reference point, and humans gravitate toward what regulates them. Here's the critical lesson most men ignore. The hug is only a reflection of your inner state. If you're scattered, stressed, or desperate, it fails. If you're centered, self-contained, and emotionally steady, it works far more than you realize. And the most dangerous part? She may never tell you. She may not consciously know it herself. Her body will remember. Her subconscious will act on it long after you've left. This is why men who understand this exert influence effortlessly. No pressure. No force. The hug is simple. But simple isn't easy. It requires mastery over your emotions, awareness of subtle signals, and patience to let bonding unfold naturally. Most men never reach this level because they confuse intensity with impact. Intensity excites. Presence transforms, and transformation is difficult to reverse. By now, you may be asking, how do I become that man? The answer isn't technique. It's calibration, emotional stability, self-awareness, self-containment. She doesn't care about your intention. She feels your state. That's the rule most men never learn. When you hug her this way, it isn't about closeness. It's about rhythm, your breath syncing subtly with hers. Your arms present without gripping. Your body's saying, I'm here. I'm steady. Jore. Safe. She may never think, this man is dependable, but her nervous system knows it. And once it does, attachment forms quietly, invisibly, and powerfully. This is why some connections ignite instantly, while others grow into something far deeper. Your words are secondary. Your charm is secondary. What she remembers is how she felt in your presence. Did her tension release? Did her heart slow? Did she feel calm without effort? That's the bond being built. Over time, those moments accumulate. One hug becomes memory. 2. Become pattern. Consistent presence becomes imprint, and suddenly, she finds herself emotionally open without ever deciding to be. But this comes with responsibility. This isn't manipulation. You can't fake it. If your calm is a mask, her body rejects it. Authenticity is the fuel. Every hug, every pause, every silent moment communicates one thing. You can exist here without fear or expectation. That's more powerful than any line, gift, or gesture. And here's the final insight. After she leaves, your influence continues. Her mind and body replay the experience unconsciously. She remembers the relief, the steadiness, the rare regulation she felt with you. That's how bonds form that last. Now think about the last hug that made her feel safe. Multiply that by consistency, presence, and calm. Then, answer this in the comments. If one hug creates imprint, and 10 solidify attachment, what's the equation for a bond that lasts a lifetime? Like the video, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to understand what real presence actually does.